and go and do that. Because before you know it, you're gonna be dead. Aren't you? And you know that I know that you know it's the truth. Come on, get up. Do you, please? Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good shiglabbo. I don't know what that is. It just came to my mind and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to give that to you. So I hope that's changed someone's life. I really hope that's changed someone's life, man. My name is Reuben Christian and this, my friends, is the Do You Show. If you're a regular listener, what's going on? Salutes. Pull down my pants, do a little bum flick for you. Oh! There you go. It is past watershed when I was recording this, so all is well. For those that are new, Do You is a simple show. I sit down with people that have found and are following their callings unequivocally with the aim to motivate more of us to do the same. These people I'm speaking to I classify as doers, people that don't wait for opportunity, that instead get up off their own arse and create opportunity. They go out, they learn, they fail, they get up, they keep it moving until they found what they need to do and they become good at it and they make it their life's work. Now, the reason I have decided to record these podcasts is because I've heard and met a lot of people that aren't happy with their lives in regard to their work and just in general their situation, because they know deep down in the realms of their hearts. Now, you may be one of them, I don't know, or you might know somebody that knows they should be doing something else. The reason why they're not doing what they should be is because they're mainly scared, or the idea of reality in their head is slightly twisted and they think they can't. And I'm a total advocate for the opposite of that. I don't believe in any of that, to be honest. I believe in just committed to an idea and going all out to make that happen, but taking the first step and then looking for the second one, as opposed to looking for 10 steps and then just getting bomblugled in your mind. Do you know how much thinking it takes to get bomblugled, you know? It's a terrible thing. People are just walking around bomblugled. Anyway, so today's guest doer, is a friend of mine, and I tell you what, I've been looking forward to this interview for a very long time. His name is COURTNEY Edwards. He is a filmmaker and producer, and COURTNEY Edwards itself is a creative visuals brand. You can check out his website. It's courtneyedwards.co.uk. And the reason I wanted to speak to him is because every time we speak to each other, the conversations just keep going on, and they get deeper and deeper, and they get spiritual, and it's just so stimulating having a conversation with COURTNEY. Anyone would know. Anyone that has sat in a cab or a bus with COURTNEY knows it's worth that trip, you know. It's like we were on the way to record this interview, right, in the Addison Lee cab, and I was telling COURTNEY, I was like, bro, stop talking to me, because everything you're saying right now is gold, and I just want to get it down on the bloody audio. And he was like, yeah. But then 5 minutes later, we'll go, Rubes, but what do you think? I was like, bro, please. Just stop. But anyway, I met COURTNEY through my brother Aaron, who was working at Mr. Porter at the time as video style editor. And Aaron was he said, Rubes, you need to meet Mr. C. COURTNEY goes by Mr. C too. Because COURTNEY gets shit done, which excited me, because when it comes from Aaron, I know Aaron knows what I'm like, and I get excited over certain things. It isn't because it's a new random friend to add to my loads of friends, but it's just the fact that COURTNEY is a super doer. And so I went with Aaron to meet COURTNEY, and it was a reminder, guys, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this as well, right? You have an idea of someone, you hear about them, you see their work, and in your mind, you subconsciously create an image of what you think that person's going to be like, right? How they're going to act, how they're going to speak. I went there, I met COURTNEY, and everything in my mind was just blown to pieces. He didn't look like I thought he would look like. He didn't dress how I thought he was going to dress. And it was a beautiful thing. We just connected immediately. He's from our sides of town. He's from East London. He's from the ends. He's from the manor. For the guys out there that don't know what the ends and the manor means, it means the current abode in which you reside. So not necessarily your house, but your area, which was East London. And anyway, we just got on well, man. And COURTNEY has come to a lot of my house parties and events. And I tell you what, and most people don't know this, COURTNEY is a skankers. COURTNEY used to be down with the old garage scene. He's got the best teapot skank ever. Ask about him. So yeah, he's a very inspiring person, very clued up. He knows his craft inside and out. He's continuously learning. He's had a lot of ups and downs. I won't call them failures. I'll just call them, I don't know, trials that he's got over. Because we don't really talk about failure here. We don't believe in it. We believe in results and just getting up and moving on. He's also very spiritually aware through the books he's read and through how he tests himself. And it's a fucking great conversation with this guy, man. I done it in my room because we went to Fairground, it was a bit busy, so we had to kind of move down to my room. Now, for the guys that don't know me, my name is Reuben Christian. I'm a presenter and comic from London, England, based in East London. To check out my stuff, it's reubenchristian.com, REUBEN Christian spelt like the religion.com, and all my social handles are /Reuben Christian, other than Instagram, which is Reuben Christian 1. Now, to hear more of these interviews, it's soundcloud.com /Reuben Christian. So please feel free to share this or get at me if you want to just, I don't know, say something nice or even say something bad. Listen, man, it's all a plus for me. I'm going to learn, right? So curse me in my fast talking. That'll be nice. Anyway, here's the interview with Courtney. Like I said, feel free to share. This guy really inspires me. I hope he does you. Find out what you're here to do and go and do that. Because before you know it, you're gonna be dead. Right, world, I don't know where you are. Whether you're dressed, whether you're naked, whether you're in Hawaii, whether you're in London, whether you're in Leighton stroking a cat. I don't know where you are and I don't care where you are. I'll tell you where I am though. We're in Stratford, Newham, and in front of me is one of my good friends and a film director and producer that goes by the name of Mr. C. Welcome.
Pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
To my studio, bro.
Pleasure.
Which is basically my room, so... We were supposed to be in Fairground today. I went down and Dom and the whole team are sorting out Makers Market. Sorry, I just drink tea and do all sorts in this place, so feel free to do what you want. We got there. I kept Mr. C waiting. Sorry about that, bruv.
Nah. I think it might have been my fault. I like to be on time, you know. Even when I'm meeting friends, you know.
You say you just pardoned me there. So
No.
It's my fault because I was on time and you were late, Rubes.
No.
But
I still came early though, but it's
Yeah.
just one of my things. I don't like to be late, you know.
Yeah. You know what? I remember Chris Rock said that in an interview, you know. He said, there's never early. You're either on time or you're late.
Yeah, 100%.
And you operate like that.
Yeah. I don't like getting anywhere late, bro.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah. I think it's like a positive reflection upon yourself, you know. So if you get somewhere early, it shows people that you're about it, you know.
Yeah. Sick, man. So yeah, guys. So poor Mr. C was waiting outside Fairground. We got there, realised Dom's sorting out the whole thing for Makers, so we jumped in a cab and come back. And we're actually doing this interview in my room. Yeah. Sorry, because this might be a bit too sexy for you.
No, it looks like a creative space, innit?
You like
my
it?
kind of place, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
man.
designed it, so I mean, it's like, what is this? 4 meters squared? That's it.
Yeah, but it looks like an apartment. You know, like you got everything you need in here, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah. And everything just about fits. And I've got this table in my room, and the door didn't open. Someone just chopped the table with a saw, and C saw it. He's like, yeah, what's up? Man's chopping tables.
But you see that little thing there? That's how I know you're creative. Yeah. You know, like ingenious. You know?
I don't know about genius, but thanks, bro. I just needed the door to open to me, unless you know them ones. All right, so for people that don't know you, bro, are you a producer or are you a director?
I'm a bit like a hybrid.
Yeah.
Because usually you're one or the other. Me, I kind of earned my apprenticeship as a producer. You know, worked with a lot of directors and stuff like that. Learnt the production down to a T, and then all the while I was kind of directing while I was doing it as well. So I'm kind of a bit of both, 50% of each.
So what, you were shadowing people back in the day?
Yeah. I had amazing mentors, you know, an amazing producer and a director.
Who were they?
Gail Mosley was a producer, and the director was Shane Davey. And they owned a production company called Davey Inc. Yeah. And like I went there and, you know, worked my way up, and they showed me the ropes, you know.
So what, did you go in there like as a runner?
Yeah, I did. When I left uni, I was kind of like, you know, hell-bent on getting in somewhere, you know, just trying to make my mark, and they kind of gave me an opportunity.
Sick.
You know, just worked my way up. I was like in there 2 days working for free, and then one day I might be on a shoot or something like that, getting paid and stuff like that. So yeah, it was good.
What did you study at uni?
I took digital arts and moving image.
Digital arts and moving.
Yeah.
What uni was that? If you don't
UEL Docklands.
Oh, you were down here as well. So you'd be like East boy,
proper, proper man, yeah.
And what were you? So you went to college before that in East as well?
I went to Barking College.
Oh, you were down
which
at
is kind of like, you know, Romford, kind of Essex maybe.
Yeah. So you're Essex man, bro.
No, well, you know what? I don't know, where I live is kind of like outskirts of East London. So, yeah.
All right, so when did you know that you were a creative guy, as opposed to maybe an accountant?
I think it was always sort of like inherent in me.
Yeah.
You know, like I was the only child as well, still am.
Yeah.
You know, and like I had to entertain myself.
Yeah, you don't seem like a... You know, I know quite a few only children. Is that even a word? Sinners, only children. A few of them are kind of spoiled. Or they give off their vibe, but you don't. At all.
I don't know. I think it was like I was always around people.
Yeah.
You know, and just like different personalities rub off on you.
Yeah.
You know, and it just kind of molds who you are, you know?
Yeah. So you're only child. So yes, sorry, taking it back to when you kind of knew that you were creative. How the hell did that come about, man?
Yeah, well, like as I said, it was just always trying to entertain myself.
Yeah.
You know, like thinking up ideas, characters, stories, all that kind of stuff.
What, from college days?
Even before.
Really? Like
Yeah,
primary
yeah.
school?
I
So
think
you're
there
really
was, like-
quite playful as a
Yeah,
kid?
yeah, always, man. And I think there was like a trigger for me as well. When I was younger, I was staying at my grand's. And my uncle, like, he was big into computers and stuff like that. So he said to me, I remember the night before, he was like, okay, I'm leaving a disc in the CD-ROM. And like, when you go downstairs, press play. It's like a film I want you to watch.
How
So,
old were
like,
you at this time?
Maybe 11, 12?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit younger, I'm not too sure. But like, yeah, the next day I woke up, put the CD-ROM in, and it was The Matrix.
See,
And like, yeah. So like, that was the trigger. And I remember just watching it and just thinking, this is amazing. You know, like the story's brilliant. You know, like you got people dodging bullets. It's just amazing. You know what I mean? And it kind of rubbed off on me. And I knew I wanted to do something with motion picture. So after that,
so
yeah.
it's the Matrix that kind of kicked it off.
Yeah, I would say that there's been like a couple of triggers in my life that have kind of rerouted the path, but that was a major one.
And sorry,
you know?
how old were you then?
Like 11, 12 maybe.
All right. So what was it? Was it the visuals of the film, or was it the story that kind of?
You see, I've always been deep. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know,
you know, we
That's
were gonna
why
get
I'm looking
onto
forward
it.
to speaking
Yeah,
to you,
I've always been deep. Like,
Deep thinker.
Yeah, like my aunt always called me like philosopher. You know, like from an early age.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it was just one of those things. I think I got the story, and I really like the visuals as well. You know, like you don't expect someone at that age to kind of get what they were hinting at in the film, but I kind of understood to a level, you know.
Jeez. So from that point, you realized that you wanted to do something creative.
Yeah. It was at that age. It was kind of like animation,
Yeah,
you know,
so-
but it was always to do with like motion picture or like moving image or something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So then you were studying at Barking. Then you went to UEL when you studied
Digital arts, moving image. Yeah.
digital arts and moving image. If you don't mind me asking, were you happy with your results? Did you do well? Did you do shit in your opinion?
You know what? It was an achievement.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I conquered it.
Yeah.
You know, like about overcoming fears and stuff like that. It's all about, if you got a goal, you got to achieve it, and that's what I saw uni as.
Yeah.
You know.
So you came out of uni now.
Yeah.
Then what? Because there's this thing, like, I remember when I went to uni, bro, it was like I didn't really know what I wanted to do. All I wanted to do is have a laugh and have fun, and I just like this idea of being on campus and just messing around. So I went there, studied geography, didn't like it, was just raving for a little while. Then I found multimedia tech, and then I graduated in it. But then when I graduated in it, that's when you come out into the real world. And as much as you think you know what you want to do, I personally didn't have a fucking clue. I was just toying around with ideas. Was it the same with you, or did you know after uni, you know what, this is what I want to do? How did that all?
Yeah, I think from a young age, I always kind of had like definiteness of purpose.
Yeah.
Because for me, if you don't know where you're going or what you want to do, you're just like kind of living in an abyss. You know what I mean? You know, like nothingness, you know, just like day to day, just absolute nothing.
existing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of anguish when you wake up.
You have felt like that.
Yeah, I've had it, but I've also kind of known where I want to go.
Yeah.
You know, so like when I left uni, I was like, okay, you know what, I need to get in the industry.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what I want to do in terms of like being like an artist or a director, but I want to be in that kind of field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, just by chance, I kind of got some opportunities, you know, and then kind of allowed me to progress my career.
Sick. With those opportunities, was that? I know you just mentioned earlier on you were shadowing people and helping out on sets. How did you meet those people? Did you approach them, or how did that happen? Because I know for some people trying to get into the industry, they wouldn't even know where to start when they come out of uni. How did that all happen?
I think, it was a great sort of opportunity that I was given.
Yeah.
But I was also like really inquisitive, you know. So anytime I'd work with someone, I'd ask questions and
Yeah.
you know, just trying to better myself, you know, trying to seek out opportunities. And I think the more I did it, is the more the people that I was around, like kind of saw that I was going to go on to do something.
Yeah,
so
they
maybe
saw-
give me more opportunities, and then
Okay.
I, you know, always came up trumps, you know,
Yeah.
which was a good thing.
But the first time you got in with these directors and helped them out,
Yeah.
did you already know them, or was it people that told you something's going on?
Well, I was working under a producer, so she'd bring me in and I'd like production assist, or I'd run and stuff
Okay.
like that, run on set. And
Yeah.
when you're working on set, you get a chance to meet those kind of directors, see how they work. Like I think like now I'm kind of a director with a lot of fingerprints on me. You know, you know what I mean? You know,
You've been
like
touched up by the industry.
Don't say that. No way, no way. But like, yeah, I got like aspects of other directors, other producers, and it kind of made me into what I am now. You know.
Yeah. So with what you're doing, bro, is there you've always had purpose. We've always talked about this idea. What is your purpose actually? Can you nail it down?
I think I just want to liberate others. You know what I mean? Because you know, looking at me, I don't look like a stereotypical director or producer.
No, bro, this is
you know
the
what
thing.
I mean?
I'm gonna jump in on that because Aaron, I knew of you through Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Aaron was saying, okay, I'm working at Mr. P and I'm bringing in these other talented, independent people that are doing different things, and there's this guy called Mr. C, bruv. You need to meet this dude. And he was banging on about you for a little while, and I was like, okay, cool. But then myself and Aaron, we always like to champion talent, so we're always talking about people that are doing great things. And I've never met you, so a little time passes. And Aaron goes, bruv, you need to meet this guy, bruv. He's from the ends, he's from Ilford.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'd love to. So Aaron said he's having a meeting with you one day. Bro, I'll tell you the truth, and I'll be the first. When I first met you and I heard you, I was like, this guy is from the ends. He's one of our lot. Is this the same
That's
dude?
good though, you know,
and this
to
is
identify
beautiful.
with people,
No,
you know?
real talk. And Aaron was saying, where did we meet? It was Ilford, right?
Yeah.
We had that little coffee in Starbucks or something like
Costas,
that.
Costas,
Costas, yeah. Big up Costas.
Yeah,
in
man, big
Ilford.
up Costas.
And I was like, yeah, it's refreshing to meet someone that is totally and utterly themselves. Now, because you're from the ends, and like the way you walk, the way you dress, the way you talk, you're totally and utterly you. Has that ever hindered you, or do you think it's ever hindered you? Trying to get in the industry, trying to open doors and stuff.
I think at first glance, when I meet people, it's easy to judge someone.
Yeah.
You know, based
We
on
do
how
it
they
all day
look.
long,
You know,
right?
but you know, when the conversation gets going and people learn about you, then they kind of open up, and I like that. You know.
Yeah.
I like the contrast. You know, of
Yeah.
looking how I do, or giving that people that perception, and then like totally contradicting that because I'm smart, know where I want to go, you know, reliable, you know,
and your archive of work shows that you're competent.
Yeah, it's like my calling card.
Real talk, bro.
Yeah.
Did you design your site, everything yourself?
I did everything myself.
Every single thing. So you learn how to do all of that yourself.
Yep. I just needed to build a platform.
Yeah.
You know, like, and people had been onto me for like a long while. Before I was just sending like little links, you know, like YouTube links. But it's good to have a platform to build from. So like over the years, I've just been building it and tweaking it. It's still not 100% where it needs to be, but it kind of gets me into the right places.
Will
you
it
know?
ever be 100% though?
No.
Ever? Why?
No. Because you're constantly evolving.
Yeah.
You know, like in like 5 years, there might be a new app or a new, you know, a new way to reach people. So you need to embrace that. I see a lot of people that get stuck in a rut and won't embrace things. So you need to just keep constantly evolving, you know, like in a positive respect, you know, like moving towards a positive, but keeping embracing stuff, you know?
Yeah. You seem to be quite similar to me in a sense, i.e., you do work within the industry, but you don't work within the industry at the same time. Have you been on this lonely grind by yourself doing this shit all your life?
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I had like amazing people earlier in my career.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it's just been me. You know, in those dark days, like I always say, like, I'm the only one who rocks me to sleep at night. You know, like, I don't have anybody, you know what I mean? Just like, nobody comforts me like that. I got my mum around, she's amazing, but it's just me who's been on this grind, you know?
Yeah. So you would wake up, so what's a daily routine for someone like you?
It varies, really, to
on.
be honest. I don't have like a a specific strict routine.
Yeah.
But I always, wake up, got to start the day with my green tea as we're drinking today.
Yeah, green tea. With a sugar in it.
Yeah, exactly. One sugar. I'm unorthodox,
Yeah.
But yeah, get onto the emails.
Yeah.
I might have meetings as well.
Yeah.
Might have to write a pitch.
Yeah.
So it mixes up depending on the day,
You have no agent. You have no manager.
No.
You do all of this yourself. All the work that you've got is off your own back through your own connects, and then you pull in all the talent. You do all the budget, all of that stuff yourself. Bro, don't you ever think that you might need help? Because I think that there's a side of me that's quite stubborn. Like, if I see something I want to do my own way, I'll go out and do it. But I also know that there's a certain point in my life where, you know what? I need some help here. I need assistance. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever reach out?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so much to help with work, but, it's nice to have people around that are kind of like a support network, so to speak. People that I could meet up with, drink green tea and just discuss, the world or where I want to go, what I want to do. It's nice to have that.
Yeah.
As men, we're just seen as, we've got to be strong, but it's nice to have those people that do care about you, and it kind of brings out a softer side of you, know?
So do you reach out often to people? Do you actually ask people for help that often?
I've tried to recently, because I know there's like only so much you can do by yourself, but I'm open to like embracing people, as long as they believe in what I'm trying to do, then I'll 100% work with you and try and, reach somewhere or reach out to you, and you know what I mean, if I need help or something like that, definitely.
Cool, man. Because I've asked for help, I've looked for agents, and I've looked for managers, and I've got an untold amount of rejection for years, bro, where I can't even count the amount of times someone said, yeah, let's work on this, and it hasn't gone through, or yeah, I'm going to get you to host this, and it hasn't gone through. Do you get loads of that as well?
Yeah, a lot.
So much.
Yeah,
I think like you can't even count. Like,
but it conditions you. You know, when you keep getting those knockbacks, it's kind of like you have to keep going, or you know what I mean, you'll just fold. You have no choice really. Yeah. And like the more you do it, you become numb to it. Yeah. And like every no that you get just spurs you on to try and get that yes. So it just keeps you going. What I'm
talking. So now, do the no's emotionally affect you now?
You can't let them get to you.
Did they
really
used
can't.
to?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like got into meditation as well.
You
just to like still the soul.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes we let a lot of external factors get to us. But if you know like truth in your heart and pursue that, then you'll be happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Does it all come down to you having a purpose and knowing what you're here to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so whatever no you get doesn't really matter.
It doesn't, no.
Yeah, because you're just going to create what you know you need to create.
As long as you keep your sight on that end goal, then you'll reach it. Like I'm not where I need to be or where I'm trying to go, but I know it's a process and I'm patient,
Real talk, man.
Have to be patient,
Yeah, no, this is true. When did you get numb to the nose? Like how? Because I know there's a lot of people that will be listening that are maybe new to a creative endeavor or just new to something, and they don't rejections they're about to get. Sorry guys, but shit happens, right?
Yeah, you got to keep it real with them.
Yes, yeah. So when was it a period of time? Was it amount of no's, or did you get one no where you just turned into a madman and said, okay, I don't care about these no's anymore, I'm just gonna keep going ham till death?
No, it's a process. Yeah. Like even to this day I still battle with it, but that's why, like I said to you about going into meditation, it's about understanding yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like eventually I'll get to a point where the no's just don't affect me anymore. Yeah. On some level they may still affect me, but I keep going regardless, because the way I see it, what am I gonna do? Wake up one day and just think I'm not gonna do it anymore? Yeah. It doesn't work like that. You gotta keep fighting to the end.
So there is no plan B.
No, not at all. No
so
way.
You will die doing this?
Yeah. Yes. And you have me on record saying that, this is my purpose. This is what I'm meant to do, you know?
Okay, so all right. So what, is there anything that you're working on at the moment? Or you're working towards?
Always working towards new things, meeting new people, trying to branch out there. Because like one thing I'm proud of is I'm versatile. Yeah. Like I do short films. Yeah. I do brand films. Yeah. I do music videos. Yeah. So I just want to keep branching out and just doing more video, more film, high quality stuff,
You've done quite a lot of music videos as well. Are you sick of doing music videos? Do you reach a point where you just want to do something different?
No, I wouldn't say sick, because I love shooting, and every time I'm on a set, it's like maybe a different person or my authentic self, You know what I mean? When I'm on set, like there's no way, you might have worries, you know, like you might not get the kit on time, or, you know, those kind of stuff that you have to deal with on a shoot. But I'm genuinely happy when I'm on set.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I have to keep doing it, because it's like my therapy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have your own studio?
No, I work from home still, bro.
Okay, are you? Jeez, kind of the same with me.
Yeah.
It's remote.
Yeah.
I mean, there's benefits to this, but then sometimes, like we've said, it's kind of good to just be in a space with other creative people. Do you feel that you work better alone? Or do you like a little bit of noise around you?
On occasion.
Yeah.
You know, like I do like being by myself, but you need to like venture out and you need to be around people.
Yeah.
You know, like I like being around like creatives.
Yeah.
You know, just seeing what makes people's minds tick.
Yeah.
You know, like, but you can then retreat back to yourself and do what you have to do. Because I need 100% focus when I'm writing pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My research, I can't have music on. I can't have people interrupting me, because my mind has to be on it 100%. You know.
Yeah.
But I can remove myself and, you know, go and mix, go and see you, go and see Aaron or whoever, you know?
Do you do that enough though, bro? Do you have much of a social life? Because when we give you a shout and you come down to the house parties and you, but you have never said, yo, I'm out jamming, come out and let's jam. Because what I know you for is just work.
Yeah.
All you do, bro, is crack on.
Yeah, but you get to a point where like, your work and your life become interlinked, and it's like seamless, and it becomes a lifestyle. That's the way I see it, you know. Like when I speak to people, I don't say, oh, I've got to go to work, or I've got to shoot tomorrow. It's like it's another day, but it's a part of it. You know what I mean? So to me, like I do jam every now and again.
Yeah.
Like back in my house, just chill, but like I like working. I like you know what I mean? I like shooting, and I like working towards a shoot, you know? It's this whole relationship I have with like an idea and making it into something tangible. I love that. It's like alchemy, you know, like magic, like you're creating something, and I love that feeling. I'm addicted to it, you know. I love it.
I remember Pharrell tweeted a little while ago that the payoff is the process. It isn't the result, it's the process. It's going through it all, making stuff. It's the same with me, bro. Whether I'm making a video or I'm putting together a treatment, or even making that pull-up bar. Have you seen the pull-up bar in my front garden?
Yeah, I hit my head on it as well.
No, not the one outside my door. There's one outside in the front garden.
All right.
That I made from I just went to B&Q and put it together. I remember the idea saying, okay, I have this vision. I want to get a pull-up bar here. How do I go about it? Start the research, start getting the stuff, start building it, realizing there's a whole load of fucking mistakes on the way to making it, and then putting it together.
Exactly. And that's the alchemy in it, you know. I love that. You know, it's like, it's a feeling you can't really translate in words. You got to feel it yourself. If you're a creative, you know what I'm talking about. When you're building something and creating it, and you know, there's no better feeling of when you completed it and you step back and you look and you're like, okay, we done it. You know.
But then, how long does that feeling last? You look at it, you're like, you know what, that was good. Okay, on to the next one.
Yeah. Like you see, it's like swings and roundabouts.
Yeah,
you know, it's
bro.
one of those
For
things.
me, that lasts for about, I'd say about 52 minutes, 18 seconds. You look at it, you're like, you know what, this is great. Like a video, this is great. I push it out, it gets great feedback. This is great. And then you're just sitting there, you're like, okay, what's next? Yeah. Would you ever like to be in a position where, rather than hustling for a project, creating it, putting it out, hustling for a project, creating it, would you ever like to be, not necessarily under a wage, but just have a whole load of projects lined up where there is no hustling process?
Yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream. Yeah, to have that, definitely. Yeah. I want to be able to be like a factory, you know, just turning them out constantly. That's where I'm aiming, you know, because like I genuinely like to work. Do you know what I mean? So if I could have people that were like, you know, bringing me in work or lining stuff up, then that would be fine. Do you know what I mean? 100% I'll be up for that.
So an agent would kind of be good for that.
Yeah, but I'd like to have someone dedicated specifically to me rather than like taking care of other people. Oh, you know, because I've seen.
So have you been approached by a couple?
Oh yeah.
And you've said no?
I'm just focusing on myself at the moment, you know.
Yeah. Just
and like no one will give yourself 100% but yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's good to be able to like put yourself as a priority rather than being a second kind of option to someone else, you know. Yeah, no. Bit of self-worth there, you know.
Yeah. I get that. So what if you were approached by, I don't know, the right agency or someone you liked? would you jump on their books?
Yeah, definitely.
You would?
Yeah.
So when you are approached by these people, do you just do a whole load of thorough research on
Yeah,
what they're
you've
about?
got to. Yeah, you can't just jump into things like feet first, willy nilly. It's got, you know, like you see, you know, we talk about
When you were younger, like when I was
yeah.
younger, I was like, yeah, they're up for helping me out. Let's do it.
Yeah, but that's where you know, like the definiteness of purpose comes in again, because me, when I go home, I'm constantly just analysing. You know, like I believe in causality. You know, like cause and effect, basically action reaction. Okay. So I think, okay, if I do that, I could maybe do that. That could lead on to that. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So everything has a purpose why I'm doing it. So if the right situation come along that I felt was beneficial to both of us, then I definitely do it. 100%. Because you've got to give as well as receiving. You know what I mean?
See, all right. So with your with what you're doing now, right? You said like the main vision is to liberate people through your work.
Yeah.
Does that mean your work is telling a story that liberates them, or is it your example of coming from here and getting up to there gonna liberate them?
Yeah.
What?
That's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It's basically the work and what I do.
Yeah.
Would just show people that you haven't got to be a certain type of person to be successful in your chosen field. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to. Do you know what I mean? As long as you're playing ball and you bring something to the table, you know, you're of value, then you could do what, you know, you can reach the heights that you want to reach. Yeah. So I feel like by, you know, just like ascending even higher and doing even better work, people can look at me and feel like, you know what, I can do it as well. Yeah. You know, and that's what I mean by liberating people. Yeah. I haven't consciously got to go out there and speak to every single person and be like, you know, you can do it yourself, but they have the eyes themselves, you know, they can see what I've done. You know, like they can look at a picture of me, they can read my bio and understand that, like, I don't come from a well-to-do background, you know, like I'm from like a single parent, you know, like who worked her backside off to give me everything I wanted. Do you know what I mean? Everything I needed. You know, and that was an amazing example. You know, so it's up to me to go out there and lead by example. You know. Yeah, exactly. Repping.
So do you feel you're slightly in debt to your mother?
No, and I think she wouldn't want me to feel I'm indebted to her. Yeah.
Pure love.
Yeah.
So has she always been supportive of your things? I know. Like, here's the thing, right? With this question. My parents love me to bits, don't get me wrong, and they have supported me, right? However, at the beginning, being Asian parents, sorry to throw out stereotypes, peeps, but they didn't understand what I was doing. Like, he does the fashions with an S. He does the fashions. See, Mum, I don't know that I do the fashions. Like, what does that even mean? And my dad as well, that they weren't too sure what I've been doing. But to be honest, maybe that's because I wasn't too sure. I've only tried to work out what I'm doing. And entertainment and media is a very new thing to my parents. So at the beginning, they're like, when are you just going to stop playing around and get a job that will secure you? And so I had two options. I can either listen to them and make peace in the household when I was living there, or I could say, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I hope one day before you guys die, if you die before me, you would understand what I'm doing. And I decided to take that route. And things are, I mean, it's taken a little while for me, but they're slowly paying off. Did you go through that turbulence?
I'm still in it, yeah. Let's keep it real. I'm still in it, you know. Yeah.
So your mom doesn't totally understand.
No, she understands, but like she sees the hard times as well. You know, she's around me.
Yeah, and as a mother, she must. Yeah. That's all she focuses on. Like my son is going through something next.
Yeah, like I do believe she knows that I have talent, and she's always said it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But like, you know, when she's like indirectly affected by what I'm doing as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, it could be a money aspect, or it could be like, you know, just being focused on your work where you don't want to have to deal with people, so it could be seen as like rude. You know what I mean? So she's kind of like indirectly affected by that. So it still goes on, but it's about understanding other people's perspective as well. So I have to be a bit more respectable as well. You know what I mean? It's just about, you know, being equal and doing your bit as well, you know. And that's what I try to do. And it's not all easy. I don't want to give the perspective that I've made it. It's just like I've done a lot of work. I've done well for myself, but there's still heights that I need to reach to, you know, and I'm going to keep going. You know,
I think that's with all relationships though, right? It's give and take, whether it's family, whether it's social, personal, love based. Yeah, no, real talk, man. When you said you're working, and I don't know if she interrupts you, but have you ever had those ones where you're working at home or whatever, and she'll all of a sudden bring her friends or relatives around, and you have to go and speak to them.
Yeah, I think it's just people like they don't understand the process. You know, it's like there is a process behind being a creative. No matter what you do, you could be an illustrator or a director, but there's a process you have to go through in order to try and work out. And I feel like some people that maybe aren't creatives or don't like identify with the way you do things, it's kind of like it could be foreign to them.
Yeah.
So, you know, while you're up in your room, it could be seen as rude.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I said, it's give and take. So you need to be respectful as well, and just you could pull them to one side, like, listen, I'm working.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you can't expect them to know. Yeah. You know, like you can't have that assumption because you know what I mean? It causes arguments, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's happened to me so many times, bro. There was one time I was putting on fashion awards back in the day before individualism started off. And my mum thinks she's Mother Teresa. Like, I love her to be, and she is very zen-like and holy, and she just likes to help people. I mean, I kind of get that from my mum. I'm working on a deadline. This show is the next day. Everyone's flopped everything by default, because that's what happens when you rely too heavily on people that don't have a vested interest in what you're doing. So then everything flops. I'm doing everything by myself, stressed out in my room. I turn around in my bedroom, bro, and there's just a boy. I've never met this boy before. It's just a boy. It's just a boy sitting on the end of my bed, staring at the back of my ears. So I turn around. I'm like, oh, hello. How are you? It's like, oh, hello. I'm whatever. He said his name. I said, oh, I'm Reuben. And she goes, yeah, Auntie Jodie, my mum, said I should come and help you.
Wait, he was real, wasn't he?
He was a real boy. You think I was smoking, bro? He was a real boy. And he was just sitting there. And I was like, oh, hello. Yeah, what did my mum send you up here for? To help you. I was like, oh, wow. Well, there's nothing you can do at the moment. That's cool. So, and being a courteous person I am, I started speaking to him, and he sits in a room for like the next 3 hours while I'm working. He doesn't say
just
anything.
like observing.
He's just sitting, staring at my ears. And so then I have a conversation with Mum. I was like, Mum, you can't do this to me. I'm working. I know you've got people coming in and you want to introduce us to everybody and whatnot, but you can't do that. So yeah, bro. Sorry, it's just a story.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And things get like that sometimes.
Yeah,
man. You just need to know. I guess. So then after that, I had a conversation with my Mum. I said, when I'm in the zone, you can't.
Yeah, and she understands. She understood. Yeah.
Like, talking of zones as well. Do you, when you're working, when you lock everything off, do you get into a zone?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you automatically get into that zone now? Because I know with social media and we're bombarded by messages and interruptions and we react to the world. Is it easy to get into that zone? Did it take you a long time to learn how to get into it?
Yeah, I think I built like a method which helped me kind of like slip into it, you know, because creativity is one of these things, it can be elusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you need some kind of method that's going to, you know, help you and...
Sick.
You know what I mean?
Are we allowed to know what the method is?
No, it's secret to me.
Is it secret to you? Secret. So it's your own kind of ritual before you do it?
Yeah, well, not so much a ritual. It's just, I need to be closed off.
Yeah.
You know, like, and maybe turn the Facebook off, turn the phone off, and just like focus on what I'm doing. You know, because like when I'm focusing, I'm processing ideas, and you know, you need to put them, you know, correlate them, and then make them into something, and then, you know, but it's like a massive sort of. It's not huge, but you know, I get it done.
Yeah, no, I get it, bro. It's I can turn my phone on silent, but there's a difference between turning it on silent and turning it off. Because when it's on silent, I'm still aware that it can receive things. Yeah. So when I turn it off, I know it's not in my life right now, and so I can focus. It's like a conscious mind and subconscious mind kind of thing. It's hard to explain it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but it's a choice also. Yeah. You know, if you're sitting at your desk and you get a text, it's your choice whether you answer it or not. Yeah. Me, maybe I'm a bit more disciplined. I can see a text and I just ignore it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I deal with things. You know, like I haven't literally got to turn the phone off. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But as long as my mind is focused upon what I'm doing, then I should be fine. You know?
Yeah. I get that, man. I get that. 100%. There's loads of things I want to ask you, bro. This can go on for ages. All right. So all right, let's talk about like team and close friends. Have you found you're an all-in guy? Yeah. I know this because I'm a similar dude and we have these conversations. And when you're an all-in guy, there are some sacrifices, right? Sometimes you can't be out and about as much as the rest of the people that are doing I don't know, let's say the normal 9 to 5. I hope that doesn't sound derogatory to anyone. I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but you find yourself alone a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Do you have the same friends around you that you used to have back in college?
No, you know the answer to that. Not at all.
Yeah.
You just like, as you get older, you evolve and you change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've still got love for those same people because they came into my life for a reason. Yeah. But like the people that are around me at the moment, like, are amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they compliment me in ways, they lift me.
Yeah.
I do, it's vice versa. I give as much as they give me. Do you know what I mean? But the group that I have around me is just solid. No negativity penetrates at all, bro. It's like, it's a brilliant group of people.
Real talk. Did that happen organically?
Nah, it was conscious.
Was it?
Yeah, there were some people that just, you know, you can't get to the next level if they're still in your life. You know, like, no disrespect, but, you know, if you want to grow, do you know what I mean? You can't be the same person you was before. Yeah. So, like, it's about embracing, like, when I met you and Aaron, you know what I mean? You guys were, like, still from East, but you guys were doing your thing, and I respected that, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's great to be around different people. Yeah. But I still, you know, I can still mix it. I can mix it with you. Yeah. Like, my people from way back in the day, like, you know what I mean?
We can all still jam.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go to just house Raver, just go
there's
ham.
no problems. You just, like, you aspire for different things. That's all it is, you know what I mean?
So then you started meeting these other people like myself, Aaron included, and then you just started to keep in contact with those people.
Well,
and
you attract people as well. Yeah. You know, like, you've got to be open to meeting people, new people as well. Yeah. You know, like, so many people have, like, limiting mindsets, you know, like, they might be fixed in a certain way and they won't meet new people. Yeah. Whereas with me, I was open to meeting new friends and, you know, broadening my world even more, and like the right people came to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you inspire me so much. Do you know what I mean?
Thanks,
you're doing your, you know, for real.
I'm here in my room, bro.
Yeah, man, you're doing your thing though, but because you believe, you know, like, I love people that have got purpose. You know what I mean? Like, that want to do something. Like I said to you about the abyss before. You know what I mean? Like, when you're living in that abyss and you don't know where you're going or what you want to do, it's just nothingness. You know what I mean? But the minute I meet someone who's like, you know what? I want to be a basketball player, or I want to be a director, or I want to be an artist. I can respect that because you believe in it and you want to do something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That abyss that you're talking about. Yeah. When was the last time you experienced that? Oh. If you don't mind talking about it. Because I've had a couple of those. It's like kind of, not a total abyss, right? But mini depressions. Yeah. When you go so hard at something, trying to get a result at that time that you thought you wanted. And nothing come to fruition, and you're like, fuck, I'm back at ground zero again. When was the last time you experienced one of those? As I know a lot of the doers I'm meeting in this Do You have experienced those. Yeah. And I think it's a necessary part of whatever the hell we're trying to do. Yeah. When was the last one?
You have like mini ones, but it's the same thing with like meditation. It helps you deal with it because I'm a lot more aware of myself. Yeah. You know, like the minute I see the vibration drop, I know like I could slip into a mood or like into a, like you said, a small depression or something like that. But I would say the last major one was like last year. Okay. I went into hospital. I had like a 1.8 hemoglobin. Okay. And like,
which means what exactly?
It's basically, I'm not 100% what it, 100%. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it was like it was associated to my Crohn's disease. Okay. And it kind of like brought my blood levels really down. So like I didn't have much energy. You know, I lost a lot of weight as well. Yeah. And like I remember when I came out, it just made me, you know, like brushing that close to death. Yeah. It made me question everything I knew or thought I knew about life. You know what I mean? And there was a long period that I went through where I was scared, you know, a bit like, you know, like life means nothing. You know, like, why am I doing this? And that's what I mean.
Everything seemed meaningless.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean by abyss. You know, you wake up every day and you're kind of like, you know, like, you know there's something more there, but you don't know what it is. And you're kind of like, so what's the point? You know, like, even living to die is a paradox. Yeah. You know what I mean? Why, if you had a choice, you wouldn't do that, would you? No. You understand what I mean? Yeah. You wouldn't choose to live to die if you had a choice, you know what I mean? So it being forced upon you, you're dealing with it in a different way, do you know what I mean?
So how long did it last?
It had been a gradual process, man. Yeah. You know, like, just got stronger and stronger as the time went by. And like,
after you come out?
Yeah. I walked out like 2 days later. Yeah. Yeah, and that's
but still, those 2 days must have been 3 months
Especially
in your mind.
I didn't know like what was going on. You know, like my mum was crying,
Yeah.
my aunt was crying. And you know, like I imagine you'd be the same. I was sitting in the bed just like so blasé. Can I go home? You know, like it's cool, I'm alright. Can I go home? And then like 2 days later, I walked out. And then like maybe 2-3 weeks after that, I went and did Grenson.
With Aaron.
Yeah.
That was after that.
Yeah, bro.
You guys have shot that Grenson thing. And
that's why I believe.
Yeah.
You know, like there's more. You know.
Yeah. So in just before Grenson, when you came out, you weren't in the abyss anymore, or you had reached rock bottom, and you're like, fuck this.
No, that was.
How did you get back?
It was weird because it was like peaks and troughs.
Positive, yeah.
You know, like I came out and I thought I was just like, you know, like untouchable.
Yeah.
You know, like I couldn't, like nothing could touch me. That's how I felt. But then as time went by, it was like a little bit of like post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, okay, came
back.
back.
So like, yeah, with a vengeance, you know, like to where I was like, okay, you know, like I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing. And, you know, you're sitting on these videos, the stuff that you've done before. Like,
yeah, so you had work. And
yeah,
it just hadn't even gone out.
Yeah. Like you could, like when I was going through it, you would have looked up my website, you would have seen all the work that was up there, and if you had sat down with me, you wouldn't have believed it that like I was going through that. But it's a human thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I see that as kind of like a blessing, because not everybody brushes death like that.
Yeah.
And you know, like, and has a bit of hindsight and a bit of like, I see it as kind of like a gift.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's the lowest you'll go. The
Yeah.
lower you go is death.
Yeah.
You know what I
Death
mean?
is the
You know what I'm
next
saying?
step.
So
Yeah,
that was a bit like a blessing for me, you know?
Yeah.
And like I've just gone from strength to strength after that.
Aaron told me, bro. Aaron, you guys need to hear. Whoever's listening to this, they need to hear this Grenson story. Aaron told me about that shoot.
Yeah, it was mad.
It's like that's a mini film in itself. How you guys got the van and you were racing,
just like racing against the sun, man.
literally racing against the sun
man.
before the sun went down, so you can get the shot with the same amount of light. And I don't know what the one car broke down, or there's the guy putting the wrong
like
petrol. What happened?
in a diesel.
Talk me through what happened that day.
No, it was, you know, it all started off kind of good, you know, like we got the equipment delivered to us and you're kind of like, you know what, we got loads of time here now, you know, like, so you start moving a bit slower, you know, and then before you know it, you're like, we got to make a move, we hit traffic, we're like, okay, you know, like looking at each other and stuff, then we went to the petrol station, DP put the petrol in the diesel, and we're kind of, you know, like, okay, so what's going on here? So we remedied that, but and then like we got to the location, got the shot, but the moral of the story is you keep going. You know what I mean? And now it's like, it's an amazing video. I love it. It's beautiful. You know what I mean?
You and Aaron shot that. You guys should check that out. Where can we see that? That's
CourtneyEdwards.co.uk.
CourtneyEdwards.co.uk. This is what you and Aaron shot for Grenson. And Grenson loved it as well. Really cinematically shot. Beautiful stuff, man. Was that shot on red?
Yeah, it was, anamorphic lenses as well.
And you produced that?
Yeah, and directed,
Bad, man. Absolutely sick. I remember when Aaron was telling me the story as well. It was like, you told me like 3 or 4 mishaps right then. Aaron told me like 7 or 8. There was loads of little mini ones. But then there was emotions all in the car and whatnot. And he goes, Rubes, one thing about Mr. C on that trip, nothing fazed this guy. Aaron said, there's another one. He said, cool, we'll sort it. Cool, we'll get the shot. Cool. And even Aaron was like, maybe he's a bit mad because I can't see this happening.
Well, now. I know that
but
now.
You were unshakable. You didn't know that. But you were like unshakable that day. And you got the shot, and it all came out well. That self-belief and that, I don't know, there was a word, is it sensory acuity or something? I read it in the Anthony Robbins book back in the day. Has that come over a period of time? Have you always been like that? Have you always been like, you know what, I'm going to do it at all costs?
In some ways, and in some ways, no, because like, what people need to realize, I was in like situations where I was producing big music videos, you know, like 10k plus videos, and like I was maybe 24, you know, like, and on set, and like I was working with like big crews, I had commissioners, and like when you could deal with that pressure where you got like 10k on your head, then you can deal with a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? So you have to, and like I learned that from Gail as well, my mentor. She was just like, you know, like it's about making the decisions like in the moment, you know, like okay, this bad thing has happened, so how do we move forward? You know what I mean? And I've kind of like adopted that attitude, so whenever I see like an obstacle, I just have to overcome it, you know, because I know it will get to my team as well, so I got to lead from the front, you know.
And take responsibility for every
100%.
decision.
I see a lot of people shirking responsibility, but I will stand up, and if I'm wrong, I'll put my hands up. You know, like if you're gonna lead, then lead, innit? Don't just, you know what I mean? lead everybody to battle and then just like run away. Do you know what I mean? Like, have some heart in it. You gotta have heart.
No, real talk, man. Do you do a lot of reading?
A lot, man.
What kind of stuff do you read?
Everything, like philosophy.
Yeah.
I read about my craft as well. I read this amazing book called Story by Robert McKee.
Yeah.
It's about like style, substance, structure of like screenwriting.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's subjective, so you could put it into context of like maybe a treatment or writing a music video or a brand film. It just teaches you about like characters and narratives and stuff like that. But it's got like elements of like philosophy in it as well.
Yeah.
It helps you understand the way like people think and how your characters could essentially think in your world, so to speak.
So as a director, do you think it's necessary to know all of those things?
Yeah, you need to know the basics. Even like now, you know, like I picked that book up like maybe a month ago. But like it became evident, like, you know what, you need to keep growing. You know, like you need to read everything you can about filmmaking, read the greats, you know, like go back to the basics, like Homer. Yeah. You know, like not Simpsons. I'm talking like, you know, like Homer back in the day, you know, like
what's Homer?
It's like it's like Greek, I think it is, like stories, like, you know, like back right at the beginning, like Plato and stuff like that. Okay. You know?
So you go back and you read.
Yeah, you have to. They're like basics, you know, like that's what a lot of films are based upon nowadays, you know, like that kind of structure, you know.
Bloody hell, I didn't know your research was that deep.
Yeah, man.
Bloody hell.
I like Napoleon Hill as well, as you know.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say we Outwitting the Devil, right? We were reading it at the same time. How did you stumble across that book? Guys, if you haven't read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, it's what he wrote after Think and Grow Rich. And they didn't put it out because they were worried about the reaction of society at the time. So when he died, they put it out. But it's a conversation between him and the devil talking about why bad things happen. He's asking the devil one-to-one, and the devil's answering honestly why bad things happen, why unsuccesses happen, etc., etc. So check it out. Yeah, how did you come across that, bro?
Well, I came across that a guy called Minish Bindi. Okay. He used to go to my school, but you know, he's very successful now. Yeah. And like I follow him on Facebook and stuff like that. And I remember one day he kind of recommended that book. And he was like, if you like, what was the first one? Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, if you like that, then you're going to like this even more. Yeah. And like I picked it up and it just like, it shattered every illusion I had in the world. The same amazing. It was brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant book.
Do you think you're a drifter or non-drifter now?
No, I've never been a drifter, I would say.
You've never been a drifter?
Never been. Well, some aspects. Yeah. But like, I'm really aware, even like you might know this about like negative thought. Yeah. If you let it in, then it assumes a rhythm and then it kind of like, you know, it can
hypnotic
dictate.
Rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm really aware of those sort of things. Yeah. You know,
so you catch yourself if you're in a negative state now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like a conscious decision now to maybe go to meditate or refocus my mind on a positive. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, because when I read it, there was an interesting part of the book where it says there's a lot of drifters. Guys, drifters are people that don't really have no purpose. You need to read the book. It said there's a lot of drifters that think they're non-drifters. And I think I might have been one of those guys. I believe now, I'd like to think I'm not a drifter now. I'd like to think I know what I'm doing and I'm smashing away at it. But I think there was a point I was fooling myself. Yeah. By just...
I'll put my hands up as well. I'd say I did it as well. Just
doing something that I thought was what I was supposed to do, when in essence I was running away from the hard work of building things from the ground up. I think that's, for example, when I was rolling around as a presenter in my early days, UK Talk to Me, thinking I can just go out on the street and just get signed and rocketed to TV. Yeah. But it didn't have any purpose to it. So yeah, no, I think it was an interesting read, man. What did you take away mainly from that?
I think the hypnotic rhythm was a huge thing for me. Yeah, break that down. It's basically, you can have like positive and negative thoughts. Yeah. And like the more you think about something, it assumes a rhythm and it kind of like dictates your life. Yeah.
So it becomes a constant part of how you think.
Imagine, like, say for example, imagine if you always thought that nobody wants to give you an opportunity. Yeah. And like you approach the world like that, then no one's going to give you an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And it assumes a rhythm in your head. But you, just as you can do that with negatives, you can always also like install like positives, you know, like affirmations, you know, like, and they aid you in positivity.
So how do you think someone that has negative hypnotic rhythm, how do you think they can change it? If that's how they've been all their life, and they start to think, you know what, this is my DNA, this is how I'm wired, how can they stop that shit?
In my opinion, I believe it's like self-analysis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be willing to be proved wrong, and like go through the pain of like realizing you had told yourself some delusions. Because I know that was something, you know, like keeping it real.
Talk.
You know, like we
Yes.
build up these walls.
Yeah.
And you got to be prepared to smash them down and just be like,
Yeah.
you know what I thought was truth wasn't truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
like listen to everybody. You know, like
Yeah.
you might not take what someone's telling you on board like 100%, but be open and be willing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To learn a new way.
Yeah.
There is always hope. I just want to
Yeah.
like let people know that.
Yeah,
you know?
always. There's
100%,
always. There's
yeah.
always. I refuse to believe any other way, and I'll stick to that till I die. Real talk, man. Do you think that people need to reach a certain point in their life before they're open to change? Do they think they physically... Like, okay, I know it's a bit of an odd question, but I've learned that people are motivated to do things for one of two reasons: inspiration or desperation. They either look something, they're inspired and they want more, and they go for it, or they're so desperate where they can't take the shit anymore and they have to build upwards. And for me, I'm inspired all the time, bro. I like everything. I'm quite a naturally positive dude. I'm like, that's sick, I want to do something like that. But when I am totally smashed, do you know what I mean, sipping on my own piss, I'm like, this is when things need to change. Are you similar? Do you need to wait till you get that merculated before you're on that up?
I think it's a bit like a gift and a curse. We touched on it before with Grenson.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the time I don't know when I'm beat. You know what I mean? When I say
Yeah.
that, it's kind of like, you know, where people would have give up and like retreated, I'm still going beyond that. You know what I mean? And it's weird because sometimes I don't know when to stop, but it usually results in a positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You take something out of it. Maybe that's just because of how you think.
Yeah.
You can only see positive now because the hypnotic rhythm has been like designed by you, if you want to call it that.
It's just like that. It's like a personal computer, your brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You run programs on it. You know, like I've got a directing program running.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? Anything. It's like when you do something habitually every day, it assumes a rhythm and it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, see, man. Real talk, bro. Have you ever thought, do you want to make a full-length feature film ever?
I thought about it.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest goal is like commercials.
Okay.
That's what I want to transition into. Yeah. 100%. That's what.
So online, television for cinema? Okay.
Yeah.
Anything in particular? Any kind of angle at the moment?
Anything. I'm fascinated by brands and branding things, you know. So I just like to work with big brands, you know, like Adidas and Nike.
Coming up with
anything.
what? Creative concepts?
Yeah. Anything really. Could tell narratives or abstract, anything.
Yeah. You just want to make beautiful things. For
beautiful commercial content, yeah.
All right, if you were able to make, not even work with one brand, is there any one massive vision that you have in your mind that you're allowed to tell us about?
Vision.
I don't know, creative vision. Like, you know what, I remember you talking about an Adidas project and a skate park, for example. That was quite a massive idea when you hit me with it. Have you got any big things that you're like, you know what, before I die, I want to get this shit recorded and onto film?
I think at some point I will chronicle, you know, like estate living. Yeah. You know, like a bit like a Top Boy, but from my eyes. Yeah. You know, like I feel like I need to tell it from my perspective. Yeah. You know, because like I live that every day, you know, like I still live in the ends, you know what I mean? I'm around it every day. So I feel like I need to tell a story authentically from my perspective. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like I have to do that. Whether that's like, because I've always wanted to do like a series drama, like Top Boy, you know, like maybe 4 episodes or something. Yeah. But like something gritty and hard hitting. Yeah. You know, totally. Because everybody, you've been through some stuff, I've been through some stuff, and I'd like to shine a light on that. Yeah, you know? Real talk. Just to provide hope to the other people. Yeah, definitely, man. Things are unattainable. 100%. Like every day, bro. Like I wake up and I look out my window, and like me and my mum, we speak about. Look at this view. Look at that wall. Bro, that's exactly what I'm going to get onto you, because my mum coined the phrase. She was like, the other side of the wall. When I was younger, I always used to travel. I had an amazing aunt. I still have an amazing aunt, sorry. Yeah. That like took me traveling. Like my mum couldn't afford for both of us to go, so she would send me. So I went like everywhere. I went to Corfu. Went France. I went Spain. Do you know what I mean? All over the place, and it showed me. allowed me to see other cultures.
Yeah.
But to come back on the other side of the wall, do you know what I mean? Every day I look out the window and I see that wall. Could you imagine being someone who hasn't travelled and didn't know what was on the other side of that wall?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You live in a perpetual goldfish bowl.
So do you think that,
you know
you really think there's people that look outside and see these walls and think that's it?
It's like it's like a prison where you could walk wherever you want.
But
do you know
really
what I mean?
It's still a prison.
It is. It's like I wouldn't say it's a
Truman
prison's a lot
Show
worse,
kind of
you know what I
thing.
mean? Yeah, you could say that, but the way these things are just designed, it's like limiting. Because the minute I saw the other side of the wall, I knew there was so much stuff out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that liberated me, and that brings me back to what I'm doing now. It's like nobody could tell me there's nothing on the other side of that wall because I've seen it.
You've seen
it's
it.
a bit like, is it Plato's allegory of the cave?
I don't know.
Where everybody's sitting down and they're watching like light puppets on the wall.
Right.
And then you got someone who's like, who wants to rebel, who realizes that there are people controlling the show when really you could walk out and experience it yourself.
Oh, see.
You know what I mean?
Never,
a bit deep like that, yeah. But for me, that's what, the estate is.
Yeah.
If you get caught in that, and you don't know anything outside of that, then how are you expected to be anything more? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of why I do it as well, because I see people still to this day who don't know any other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've done something for like years, and like we said about hypnotic rhythm, and they just keep doing it, keep doing it. You know what I mean? You've got to have a conscious desire to want to break that. You know what I mean?
Do you have that conscious desire? So do I. So is Aaron. So a lot of the people I know and that I'm close with now. Some of it is because we've seen it, but I think there's a lot of people in the estates and whatnot that can see it, but they haven't tasted it, and so they don't think it's for them.
Yeah.
And that's that. I think that's one of the barriers we have to break down.
Yeah.
Like it is for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's why I do what I do. Do you know what I mean? It's just like to know that I'm like you as well, and I'm doing my, I'm doing what I love, and that's what it comes down to. If you've got a love and you want to pursue something, then pursue it. Like I know there's like so many other factors about money and stuff like that, but give it a bash, innit? Look at people like Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z came from the projects and just like built this, this multi-million dollar. You know what I mean? He's a brand. You know what I mean? But he came from like humble beginnings. Yeah. And that's kind of like, not to say I'm like Jay-Z, but you know what I mean? I'm from like the same sort.
Space.
You know what I mean? I see, the depth below shows us the height above. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I think media and people in general we're bombarded with limiting things.
Yeah.
So whether that's consciously or subconsciously, there's just a whole load of things saying you're not going to make that, or that's going to be too hard, or the reality is, like the newspapers and stuff like that. I've found in order to combat that, firstly, I surround myself, well, by default, it's organically happened with people that think like me. So there is only yes people in my camp. Like we're going to smash through. I know people that are critics and cynics and whatnot, and I'm cool with them, but I just don't necessarily vibe with them too tough. And another thing is I continuously put good shit into my head. So from these books that I'm reading, these discussions that we're having, in order to kind of fight the shit that is thrown into my head every single day. I take it you're kind of similar. You're continuously putting good stuff in.
You have to.
It's like nourishing your body with good stuff.
Yeah, you do, because like you watch TV and it's just like I don't watch the news. I catch like Homeland, the odd program every now and again. But like even the other day, like I saw this program called what was it? Miners and Designers on ITVB, and it was basically about this new culture about like parents buying their kids just ridiculous like clothes that cost like more than what I have on today. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, don't get me wrong, I know they work hard for their money, but what example are you setting? Do you know what I mean? There are people that are, like below minimum wage that are like, you know what I mean, like struggling to pay for their kids themselves, but you could plant that idea that they should go and overspend to put their kids in, do you know what I mean, Armani or Gucci. It doesn't mean anything. Do you know what I mean? Labels just, don't get me wrong, I'm a hypocrite. I like a label myself. But like when
that's the total focus.
Exactly. And like making a show about it like it's okay. It's not okay.
Is that what the premise of the show was, that it was okay?
Well,
or were they
not so much it's
highlighting
okay. It's got another angle to it, but it's just like it's okay, that's your life, it's not going to affect me in any other way. But to me, I just felt to myself it's it's not setting a good example.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
real
mean?
talk, bruv. Like we did, not to say we didn't have nothing. I mean, we had a great childhood, but we used to play with trees, bro.
Exactly.
I just gotta hug a tree.
Yeah, man. You know, like
Skate.
you know, bulldog. You know, you're running from one end to the other. You know, like run outs.
That was run
Yeah,
outs.
man.
That was so
Yeah,
much
man.
fun. Kiss chase. I was so bad at that.
We didn't
bro.
have iPads. Like
Yeah.
even the other day, I was making a joke about. You remember dial-up connection where you're like, and then, like your mum in the living room like talking on the phone,
Yeah.
like mum trying to use the internet.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just-
me and Roger were talking about. Roger's my closest friend, by the way. He's an amazing writer, and I live with him. But like we always talk about voicemail. Do you remember voicemail? We used to voice each other. Do you remember that on
Wait, 1-to-1.
Yeah. We used to leave people voicemails. Now, when
Yeah.
I get a voicemail, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go through the hassle of actually listening to the
Yeah,
operator and then listen to the person text me, man. Like back in the day when we had voicemail, there was one girl in our college. There was one day, bro, where voicemail locked off. Like they clocked and they just locked it off. There was one girl in the common room crying.
Do you remember
It was a palaver in the
Do you remember
college.
at the beginning, like when you call someone,
Yeah.
and like people would put like
Plus
a
44.
track, no, a track at the beginning before you could leave a voicemail. You know, like music.
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
listening
yeah,
for
yeah.
3 minutes. Like I just want to leave this voicemail now,
Yeah,
but
like,
like
get off,
I've got
stop
Craig
playing, that's
David
your-
7 Days playing in it. You know, like, Craig David.
Yeah,
I
you
took
know,
it
I was
away,
guilty of one of those, bro.
Yeah,
There's this
man.
thing called Breakdown. I used to put all that stuff on there. You just used to think you were a total G because you had some new tune on your voicemail. Bloody hell, times are crazy changing.
Yeah,
man.
man,
But
it's
you know
mad.
what? Like, I think as we grow up, there will always be like you'd always look back on. Well, you always look at the youth today and be like, you know what? Back in my day, maybe
Yeah.
we're getting old. You know?
Yeah,
bro?
I've dropped that a couple of times. I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, I'm actually getting older.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
like someone older will come to me and be like, you're only 26. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just like,
Yeah.
you're a young buck still.
Yeah.
You know,
But
like,
it's where it is in your mind, man.
yeah. I feel like an old head
Yeah.
on a young person's body. You know, like
Yeah,
I
that's
have-
a great way to live.
For real, yeah,
You
I
get
just-
that wise.
It's
that
just I've
wise
been through
moves.
so much and just I read a lot and
Yeah. But you
know
spend a
what I
lot
mean?
of time with yourself as well.
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
no option but to
Yeah.
know yourself, right? Know what you like and
Yeah.
whatnot. Do you know what? On a last note, yeah, because we've been speaking for an hour now, but I was watching. I don't know if you watched it. I can't remember what channel it was. Was it ITV Channel 4? I can't remember. But a program called something along the lines of "How Rich Are You?" Is it? It was recent, a few months ago.
Wait, Channel 4 was it?
It might have been How Rich You, but basically it was talking about the divide between the rich and the poor in the
Okay.
UK.
Yeah.
Such an interesting watch. I don't think it's on any catch-up stations now, but there was different people giving different opinions. There was people from the bottom saying, you know what, the system's designed in a fucked up way just to keep the rich richer and the poor poorer, and it will never change. And it's, then the rich people saying the poor people need to get off their ass and do some work. But then they ended on one quote, or there's one guy that focusing on one thing, and I think this is the solution for a lot of these problems. And it was like, we need to raise aspirations
Yeah.
of people.
I like
It
that.
starts with what's going on in someone's head. Like no matter where you're from, you need to maybe have a plan or work out what you want to do, but then start believing you can, and then working on strengthening that belief through experience, through learning about these things and the ways of thinking, and surrounding yourself with those people. So it's so easy for people to say, you know what, I've been dealt a shit card, I ain't gonna do nothing. No, bruv. Everyone's dealt different cards. Don't worry where you are.
Yeah,
Don't
I
worry
agree.
about that. Sort your mind out and raise your aspirations. And I think what you're doing is both inspirational and aspirational, bro. And keep doing it.
Oh man,
Bro,
thank
seriously.
you. Thank
See,
you.
like I love just jamming with you. Because like we were in the car before recording this, yeah. We were in the Addy Lee and we were like, everything we were saying, we're like, no, this needs to be recorded.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah,
talking,
just stop
Steve.
talking,
Stop
stop
talking.
talking.
Don't talk to me. Let me text and do something else. Yeah, no, like I said,
But
best of
yeah,
luck with
I'd
everything.
agree with you as well on that
Yeah.
note. And it's also about self-worth.
Yeah.
You know, like you get what you feel you deserve. So just like know your worth,
Yeah.
and then it will be returned
Yeah,
to you.
keep going for it, man.
Yeah, man.
Bro, if I can help you out of anything,
No doubt, vice versa,
I'm
man.
here, bro.
All day.
And I make a sick cup of tea.
You do, man.
Ask about me, bro. Best of luck with it all, bro.
Thank you, bro.
One love, man.
Appreciate
Take
that,
care.
man. Thank you.
So, there you have it, my doers. To check out more of my stuff, it's ReubenChristian.com, REUBEN, Christian spelt like the religion.com, and all social handles are /Reuben Christian, other than Instagram, which is Reuben Christian1. So if you want to contact me for anything, my email address is on my website, or you can hit me on Twitter. Also, to hear more of these interviews, it's soundcloud.com /Reuben-Christian. Whew, that was all one breath, you know. Anyway, guys, get up, keep connecting, keep learning, and keep doing you. Because we need your talents. Believe me, we need you. Boom! You. Find out what you're here to do and go and do that. You. Because before you know it, you're gonna be dead. Aren't you? And you know that I know that you know it's the truth. Come on, get up, do you, please. Take it.